It is not often you get the chance to be a part of a truly historic new product launch of an entirely new product category. 17 years ago, when the iPhone came out, I was only a few months old. But today, it's time for Apple Vision Pro. This Friday, Apple opened up pre-orders for the Apple Vision Pro. A day I had been anticipating for the last 6 months, but one I did not expect would come so early. But I have been privileged enough to order Apple Vision Pro and get a February 2nd, day 1 delivery for the Vision Pro. So I am going to talk about my pre-order experience in just a moment, but let's start off by answering the elephant in the room. Why did I decide to spend $4,000 on a VR headset? Well, because that is exactly what Apple Vision Pro isn't. Apple Vision Pro is not a VR headset. It's an AR-first headset, or as Apple would rather have me call it, it's a spatial computer. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, Apple Vision Pro promises to deliver an augmented reality experience, which means you're not going to be transported to a completely different world. You're not going to feel like you're living in a cartoon world when you put it on, like on the Quest lineup. When you put on Apple Vision Pro, it's not going to look any different from how you see life without it. It's going to let you see everything around you the way you always have. But you can place apps anywhere you want and make them any size you want. And you'll be able to experience an additional dimension in the apps you already know and love. It's kind of like you combine an iMac, an iPad and an iPhone, and you get this magical new experience, but they don't have any physical bounds to the display. You can just have your apps floating around you in experiences like you've never imagined before. Apple Vision Pro is a glimpse into the future I truly believe in. One where the only piece of technology or the only device you need around you is a pair of AR glasses, which enable you to put objects and screens around you at any time without the need of having a physical object in front of you. Of course, as of today, we don't have the technology for a battery that small or a cooling technology that small for cooling the processors inside of there. And neither do we have a transparent display with such a high pixel density and contrast ratio. But we'll get there soon. But for now, this is the closest we've gotten to that future with Apple Vision Pro. And that's why this workaround exists, which tries to capture the world around you with cameras and projects it into your eyes with high-resolution displays. I truly believe that Apple Vision Pro is a step in the right direction in terms of the future of computing. Granted, it's not perfect and it'll take time for it to be perfect. But it's the closest and the most advanced implementation of this technology we've seen yet. Heck, Apple claims it's the most advanced piece of consumer electronics we can buy right now. And you know what? I believe it. There is no headset right now that delivers a 4.3K display for each eye, or one which has incredible sound quality, or one which literally tracks your eye movement in combination with a 3D lenticular display on the outside to let others know how you look and how you're seeing them and if you are seeing them. 2 powerful processors and a total of 10 cameras that enable all of these wonderful experiences. It is no wonder that Apple's manufacturers are struggling to make enough of these. It truly is an incredibly advanced and complex piece of technology. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's not often you get the chance to be a part of a truly historic product launch. 17 years ago, it was the iPhone. Today, it's Apple Vision Pro. That's exactly one of the reasons why I decided to jump right into Gen 1 as an early adopter. Sure, Gen 2 and Gen 3 will be cheaper and better, but Gen 2 and Gen 3 won't have the same feeling as Gen 1. The Vision Pro is one of the most expensive consumer electronic items you can buy on the market right now, and that's for a reason. It's a first generation product packing in incredibly advanced technology. The bill of materials itself of the Apple Vision Pro comes up to $1,500, and that's excluding manufacturing costs. That itself is thrice the price of the MSRP of the Quest 3. And you're not accounting R&D and everything that went in this over the last 10 years. So, and selling this product at $3,500, I doubt they're turning a profit or even breaking even on Vision Pro. Like any other first generation product, this thing is freaking expensive. But that won't always be the case. The first Macintosh, when it came out, in today's money was $7,000 US. And today you can find Macs for way cheaper. The same goes for Vision Pro. The price will eventually come down. But for now, it's a product for enthusiasts and developers. Both categories I happen to fall into. This will be my first true experience with an AR or VR headset, not like one of those Google Cardboard things. And I'd also like to point out that this is going to be the first time I'll be buying a pro Apple product for myself. So I'm really excited for it. Also, let me quickly take you through the pre-order process of the Vision Pro as an international buyer. Honestly, it actually went very smooth. And I was anxious about it if I would be able to get a day one order. I'd been wondering about it for the last week, but fortunately, I was able to get a day one order. The face scan worked incredibly smoothly in the first try, but I was never able to replicate that in subsequent tries. And I have seen a lot of users online on Twitter facing the same issue with their scan not working. Fortunately for me, the first few scans when I needed to order the Vision Pro itself were smooth and perfect. I got them working in the first try itself. What wasn't as smooth of an experience though was ordering prescription lenses. Apple's Zeiss prescription lenses, which cost $149, required you to have your prescription reviewed and signed from a US-based ophthalmologist. Unfortunately, since I've never been to the US, I do not have such a prescription. Heck, I did not even have the name of my ophthalmologist on the prescription because it was from a glasses shop, not from an ophthalmologist. So I ended up canceling my order for the prescription lenses. But literally 1 minute, I'm not even kidding, like 1 minute after I canceled that order, I went onto Twitter and I saw Sam Cole from AppleTrack tweeting that he found a way to bypass this by going to govisibly.com, and that website lets you get an FDA approved prescription with your number and do an online eye test by paying $35. So I did exactly that, and I reordered my Apple Vision Pro Zeiss prescription lenses, and this time it worked. So I'm really happy I got that to work, but that was a bit of a hassle. And for a second I was really worried I wouldn't be able to get lenses, and then I would have to use contact lenses, something I'm really not excited about. So I'm really happy about that since I am still getting a day one delivery for the lenses, and I did not get them engraved in my first order, and this time I did decide to engrave my name onto them, and I'm still getting a day one delivery. So that's pretty cool. I also got a 3% cash back because I ordered the second order of the lenses with the Apple Card, not the first one, because there is a credit limit. So yeah, that's pretty good for me. Either ways, the total of the order came up to a staggering $39.50 US after taxes. I did go with the base 256GB model, but it would have been so much higher since the base model, since the without taxes price for the 1TB model starts at $3,900 itself. So yeah, the pricing is pretty steep on this. Also, I'd like to mention that my purchase of Apple Vision Pro was fully self-funded. I am really proud of whatever I've been able to achieve over the last few years, developing apps, and yeah, software development has been something I've really fallen in love with. And with the launch of Starlight Apps LLP last year, I have already put out some of my proudest work for everyone to choose. If you haven't checked it out already, I would really appreciate it if you do check out my apps. There are only 2 of them right now, but yeah, they are really amazing. There's also a quick sneak peek of one of my apps, Linkkeeper, the best website bookmarking app, coming to Vision Pro on day 1. Oh, and also as an international buyer, if you are interested in the Vision Pro, there are a few things to keep in mind. An US-based Apple ID is required, so you can't use your regular Apple ID. That is going to be a bit of an hassle for me since I won't be able to test out the integration with the Mac and things like that, but I'll eventually be able to test it as it rolls out worldwide. There is also a restriction on Apple Music and Apple TV purchases. You can only set the language to English US, which I'm not sure why they did, since there are people who speak other languages in the US. And like I mentioned earlier, the prescriptions should be from a US eye care provider. So I did find a way around that thanks to Go Visibly, but yeah, you have to keep that in mind. I am incredibly excited about Apple Vision Pro, and so is everyone around me whom I've talked to about it. I'm excited to try out the 3D experiences that Apple has to offer, and also the 3D movies, and also capturing spatial video and reliving those memories. I am really a memories guy, so that really does interest me. I'm also excited to rehearse presentations in Steve Jobs Theater using Apple's Keynote app. That is something really cool. I'll also be developing amazing experiences for Apple Vision Pro, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on Apple Vision Pro. I hope you are just as excited as I am. I'll see you next month when Vision Pro comes out. Until then, peace.